Welcome to the Dirty South Grudge, where the fastest car don't always win, but the damn slowest one don't always lose. Somebody, and we mean somebody, is about to get their ass whooped.
Pull out money. I wanna lock it.
Oh, you hating on?
I wanna lock it.
I'm real, Johnny Ranch. I'm real motherfucking killer.
They say no motherfucker.
Hey, I want to welcome everybody to the lawyer interview. Today we'll be interviewing Jamie Triggaman Halls, aka Mr. Night Night, aka I Wanna Lock It, aka the 2021 Grill Race of the Year. Hey Jamie, you on?
What's happening? What's happening? Man, I'm on time, baby. What's going on? Let's get that thing rolling, baby. What's up, Dirty South? First, I want to appreciate, what y'all bring to the game. I want to appreciate Tarnell for, choosing a guy like me to do a little interview. That make me feel a little special. But go ahead on. I'm on here, baby.
All right, Jamie, since you on, Jamie, hey, give us a little background history, man. Like where you from, like you know what I'm saying. You know where you from. You know where you grew up at.
Yeah, well, I'm from Augusta, Georgia. I grew up in small town, Columbia County. And for all y'all that think I quit school, I got a diploma. I went to Greenbrier High School. For all y'all people that think I just run around, like old kicked out, old kid that ain't finished school. But I got my diploma, y'all. I went to Greenbrier High School. Y'all need the number, just look it up. I got a little knowledge behind me. But Tarnell, I as growing up, my daddy used to drag race, him and Willie Dog, and I guess as I came out my mama, I just always had the need for speed. And if you check my record, I had about 1 million speeding tickets. So at the end of the day, my first car was, a little like the Nopi guys, you know what I'm saying? It was Nopi back then. It wasn't nothing about no, tailpipes and 350s and G-bodies and stuff like that. I had me old little Nopi car. But like I said, man, I just always had the need for speed. I used to always leave home after school and go to work. My mama used to be at work, and I used to be going down the road, and when I see her name pop up in my phone, about 5 people done called and told her that I done speeding going down the road. So when I see her number pop up, the first thing she say, slow that goddamn car down. So, like I said, Tarnell, I always had the need for speed. I grew up around drag racing. Like I said, my dad and Willie Dog, I ain't never used to go to school on a Monday because I used to hang around Willie Dog and my daddy back then. But that's just a little bit, Tarnell. Go ahead on.
Hey man, look man. Hey man, you already. Hey man, god dang, boy. Hey, you sure you ain't sitting on here beside me? God dang. Boy, I'm talking about you. Hey man, you ask some questions. I'm talking about you following in suit. I ain't gotta ask that question right now. Hey, where did the name Triggaman come from?
I'm gonna be honest with you. The name, and they still mess with me to this day. But the name Triggaman, I used to go to the track a lot, and that's what I used to look at, people's windows. I used to look at people's windows, and I used to try to, like Iceman, Hitman, I used to look at people's windows like, hey, I like that name. But I hate to tell you, Tarnell, man, you really asked a question that I really hate to tell you, but I'm gonna tell you. The name Triggaman, as of right now, came from a member. I just hate to tell y'all who he a part of right now. He a part of ABP right now. And I was at Jackson one day, and I think it was a Malibu or a Nova that they had. And I looked at the one and it said Triggaman, but it's spelled Triggerman. So I said, damn, I like that name. So I never did really, come right off and name a name Triggaman. That was you know how when you want to name a car and you get you a list of them, that was one of the top of the ones that was on my list. So as I started beginning to driving and everybody, saying like, I was good on the tree and stuff, so I said I'm gonna name myself Triggaman. But guess what? I ain't want, but his name is Brian Mack. Brian and what is his brother name? Y'all know him. He ABP. But I said I'm gonna do a little something different because I don't want this man to sue me. You know what I mean? So I spelled it Triggaman.
Oh man, so you walk around looking at the back of the names. People had their names in the back windshield of cars, and this man had Triggaman, and you got that name, and you just spelled it different. Hey, that was so. I know a lot of people out there, man. They probably want to know, man, where did Triggaman get that name from? All right, moving right along, Trigger. Who is your biggest supporter?
Well, first you gotta say, like I say, give thanks to God as far as leading and guiding the biggest supporters to be behind me. But my biggest support, it always starts at home. Your biggest support has always got to start at home. Because if your home ain't right and you don't got an understanding, it's hard to make it out here as far as how much we all travel. So I'm gonna say my family, is my biggest supporter. That's where, that's where it starts from.
Oh yeah, you ain't said nothing wrong right there. You ain't said nothing wrong. Especially with a lot of these races and traveling and being gone, and a lot of people think like, oh man, I got this show, but at the same time, we got to make time for our family. So I truly understand that right there. Truly understand that. So next question is, what is your greatest accomplishment you've had in Grudge racing?
My greatest accomplishment is becoming a driver. It's going to the track when I was a little kid. I used to go to Jackson every Thursday. I probably skipped 3 Fridays out of the month going to school on a Friday because we used to get back late Thursday night from going to Jackson. But my biggest accomplishment was becoming what I wanted to be, and that was a driver. But what most people fail to realize, I was a car owner, before, but now I'm just a driver. But when I used to go to the track, I always used to look up to people that used to get in them cars and be able to drive, to be able to cut a tree. When I first started driving, I couldn't cut no tree. So I used to get agitated about, my lights ain't as good as nobody else's. But my daddy told me, we had a little talk. And Jordan, Jordan, I never forget, he was younger than me, but he used to cut good lights, but he been doing it longer than me before I started driving. But, I used to wonder and talk to myself, Lil Flip, y'all know Lil Floyd, I used to look at them guys like, man, them guys cut good lights. What am I doing wrong? But only one thing make you a better person, and that's practice.
Oh yeah, that's a big tenfold. So you did say something about you was a car owner. And what was the name of that car? So that some of these guys can go look it up on YouTube or whatnot and see what car you are talking about.
You can look up Bam Bam. I used to own Bam Bam. I used to own a little blue truck, Blue Lightning. I think it was Blue Lightning. I got a bad memory now. I was a badass little kid. I had a motorcycle. I fell off the motorcycle and bumped my head with no helmet going about 140, so y'all excuse me. But, yeah, Bam Bam. I had a little truck, not 7-Up. I had a little truck, I think it was Blue Lightning. But I had BET. I had a clean little Mustang. It was a red Mustang. I think BET named it. It was LS Monster. I think it's on YouTube. There's just a couple of them. But I also had another blue Mustang, but I can't really remember the name of it. Like before then, we ain't really have names of cars. Pretty much really back then as far as when I started doing it. But that's just a couple of them.
All right, 10-4, big 10-4, big 10-4. Like you had several cars, not a couple. You know, hey, you know, you just named about a good 3 or 4. So that was up. So, you know, anybody that want to go on YouTube, look at some of the old videos, just look up some of those names of the cars what he talking about. BET, Indy Cut, Gutted Pigs, all of those video guys. Hey, you go in there and check them out. All right, moving right along. What sets you apart from most grudge racers?
What sets me apart from most grudge racers, as in, I come back with that turnout, like, I don't understand that question.
What sets you apart from most grudge racers? Like, what do, you know, pretty much what do you do and how you separate yourself from this or from that?
Well, that's a tough one that time there. I mean, what separates me is I put a lot of effort, you know, into what I do. You know, some people do it just to do it, but I put my heart into what I do. I love doing what I do. You know what I mean? You know, I strive to win. I don't strive, you know, I'm sure nobody don't, but I strive to win. I strive to be the best. But like I say, man, I just think, and I know what I do, it takes a lot of time and effort in doing what I do. And not saying that nobody else will or won't, but it takes a strong-minded person to put up with what I put up with as far as dealing with different people, you know, like being a different, you know, driving different cars and stuff like that. That's that's a tough one there.
Oh yeah, I think you got it though. You know what I'm saying? I think you got it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you put 100% into it. You know, whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I got out of it, that it don't matter if it's scrapping down a car, it's cleaning a car, it's leaving out, traveling, making sure you got XYZ, making sure you got a tie jack, making sure you got a full load just in case something happen. Like you know what I'm saying? Well, the thing I got, that you prepare yourself for everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? You answer the question. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had to slide one in there on you though. But moving right along, what's your definition of team?
The first thing what defines team is you never use I in team. That's number one. And the word team is when you know what I mean, make a decision as a team. You know what I mean? Like if you want to lock a car in and this and that, you know, you come together as a team. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about the team that we got now. You know what I mean? Don't neither one of us, you know, put one another above the other. You know what I mean? We all is a team. You know what I mean? We as one. You know what I'm saying? And when you mention TMR, you know what I mean? The members that's a part of TMR, it don't matter if we racing this car or that car, they all gonna treat the race just like it's their car. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? That's a key word as far as team. That's a key word as far as if you're gonna stay together or if you're gonna separate. Because that plays a big part as being, as you know, like TMR. That you know, that plays a big part.
Oh yeah, that's a big 10-4. That's a big 10-4. I'm trying to debate. I want to ask you a question. I think you kind of answered a little bit, but I'm gonna ask it anyway though. Do you feel like TMR is the baddest grudge team in racing, and why?
I'm a part of it, Tondale. So you know I got that. I'm gonna feel like we the baddest team in grudge racing, and it ain't just because we the grudge racer of the year. I feel like in pretty much each category, we got one of the baddest cars in pretty much each category, like a 484, 5-inch, junior G body. So yes, I would consider, you know, that TMR is one of the baddest in the world when it comes down to a team.
Oh yeah, that's a big tenfold. That's a big tenfold. If it was anything you would change in grudge racing, what would it be?
I'm be honest, boy. What I see changing in grudge racing, man, is us people not getting along. You know, I joke, I jive, Cowboy joke, he jive, but man, all and every, you know, a lot of people know us, and man, we don't take none of this stuff personal, man. But here, lately, I see that's the biggest downfall in grudge racing. You know what I mean? A lot of people, man, is taking too much stuff to the heart. You know what I mean? Some people might take it a little bit too far. But at the end of the day, we all know this just drag racing. And if you win, of course, you know that team gonna talk shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, that's, to me, the biggest downfall till today. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad you asked that question. I'm gonna give you an example. This grudge race of the year was it opened my eyes dearly to a lot of different stuff, man, as far as how we are as in people. And when I say that, I'm gonna say that, I said that to say this. You know, ABP and TMR went in the battle. You know, it was more people that had more problems about it besides me or Boney. But guess what, Tarnell? I've been knowing Boney for years and years. That's a bad man. Boney has always been an underrated guy. But at the end of the day, you know, as that was going on, me and Boney was calling each other, you know, making posts at each other. We never, you know what I'm saying, took that personal, because we both gave each other credit. You know what I'm saying? That's just an award. We ain't none of our finances changed from that, but that's just an award. But if we involved in something, of course we always want to win it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it still wasn't personal. Never got personal amongst me and Boney. But it opened my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Some people rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to take a minute to get back from that. But some people rubbed me the wrong way. And I hate that. You know what I'm saying? But I get over it. They'll get over it. And maybe, you know what I'm saying, we'll come back together. But that's one thing that I wish could change, Tarnell. You know what I'm saying? Like how we treat each other.
Hey man, hey man, it's funny that you say that you know that one of the things you can see change, you know. But you know, this is your interview, but I just had to say that a lot of people know me and Barry Bobo don't see eye to eye, but me and Barry Bobo had a talk today on the phone. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how you answer that question like that and then that happened. But you know, but anyhow, I'm gonna move right along. In your racing career, what was your greatest victory?
I know damn well, Tony, I want you to come back and answer that one. I want you to come back. Matter of fact, you just called me a few minutes ago. Put him on the phone. But no, man, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do the interview right, Tony. But no, my greatest, I think, was Jolly Rancher against the Wizard. That was that was the best race, one of the first biggest races and best races that I can always remember. I remember every moment of that race, and I still go back and I can still feel like I'm racing Jolly Rancher. But if y'all remember, y'all can go back and pull it up. Jolly Rancher versus the Wizard. And it was videoed by Mandrell Terrell. But that race right there, it just, for some reason, that race felt like it changed my life. And it wasn't nothing but a little grudge race. But it was just the hype, the fun behind it, you know what I mean, the trash talking and all that, you know what I mean? And neither team took that personal. But that's when grudge racing was really what it was, which was, you know what I mean, behind the fun of it, you know what I mean? But Tony, I got to say my second. I got to say it because you ain't asked, but I'm going to say it. It's that Cool Performance, the Ghostbusters versus Hiroshima. But go ahead with your next question.
Hey, Scott, now listening. Look, After that rain right there, listen, Scott lock in, right? Got pool. Hey man, we was like, look, no sir. Look, Scott, you don't look. You just drive and tune. Don't do no locking in. You listening right now. So look, I ain't telling no lie, but I knew you were gonna say that. I forgot about the Jolly Rancher. You know, that was a big win right there for you. That's the one you came back up the track, got there with your helmet. You know what I'm saying? You celebrated. You know what I'm saying? You know, good win. Well, moving right along. I see you expanding your brand with Big Wheels Network and driving a car for the rapper Lil Boosie. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I hope that Charnel, in the next 5 years, I want to be on TV. Whether it's, you know what I mean, like with J.R. Gray, Stevie Jackson. I look to be on TV, and that's what I strive to be. And I ain't gonna stop until I pretty much get there. And I ain't gonna let nothing get in the way. And like I said, no negativity get in the way. I'm just gonna keep pushing and keep striving. And the team that we got, man, it ain't nothing but positive people on the team. And that's what it's got to take that to see where you're going in life. You know what I mean? Positive people around you. And that's a big difference. That's a big difference, y'all, as far as, you know, being the person you are is your surroundings.
Oh, that was up. Hey, I wouldn't mind flipping on TV and seeing Triggaman, seeing Jamie Hall's on TV. Hey, shoot, you know, the thing about it, you know, I feel like you'll get a lot of support. You know what I'm saying? I really do feel like you'll get a lot of support from fans and from other Grudge racers. So, you know, hey, you know, the thing about it, you just keep speaking that thing in existence. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come. It's gonna come. So it may not be on your time, but it'll be on the good Lord time. But moving right along, what separates you from most drivers?
What separates me from most drivers is experience. You know, you can't just hop in these cars and just, you know what I mean, think you can just let the button go and go down the track. But that's the number one thing is experience. And the age that I'm at right now, I still, you know, I haven't lost anything as far as reaction or things like that. Now I'm gonna lose that sooner or later. You know what I mean? Sooner or later I'm gonna lose that. But what separates me also, like I say, I can talk trash. I can, you know what I mean, gamble for big pots, small pots. A lot of people can't do that. You know what I mean? And, you know, I know how to try to rattle another driver that I see fear. You know what I mean? And a lot of drivers, you know what I mean, they, like I said, they can't do that. And I recognize that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, if an animal or a pet or something like that know that you fear, they pick up on that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I think experience really separates me from a lot of different drivers, and like I said, the things that I've been through and pot sizes and that I done raced for. But like I said, don't nothing rattle me. You know what I mean? Don't nothing rattle me.
Oh, yeah, that's a big 10-4. That's a big 10-4. All right. If a poll came out today on the baddest driver in the Grudge racing game, where will you rank yourself?
You meaning? I mean, it's hard to say what era. I mean, my era, or you know what I'm saying, as far as you compare me to Tony Dog, Tony Bonds, Tony Wright. You know, then you got dating them. So like, what era? You know what I mean? I think that's a big difference in that.
This era today. The era today, the people that's still out there, that's you know that's racing in and out every weekend. You got the Dayton, you got the Scott, you got the nephews, you got the J.R. Gray, you got the DJ McCain, you got you know what I'm saying. You see where I'm going with it,
right? That's 10-4. Well, I would consider myself to be in the top 5. I consider myself to be in the top 5 because, you know, a lot of times underrated drivers, you know what I'm saying, we overlook. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of underrated drivers out there. You know what I'm saying? Mostly, you know what I mean, we talk about the ones that we know of and, you know what I mean, we know of and that people speak on a lot. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of drivers out there that can also drive, but they're not in the spotlight daily, you know what I'm saying, weekly like we are. So I would consider myself in the, you know what I'm saying, the top 5, top 10. I consider myself in that because there's a lot of drivers out there. So, you know what I mean, I would consider myself, say, the top 5, top 10.
No, Tempo, that ain't bad. Yeah, that ain't bad. You know, the thing about it, at least you being honest and you being, you know what I'm saying, you know, you're not, you know what I'm saying, you know, there's a difference between cocky and confident, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you giving yourself in the top 5, shit, you know, that's still good. After all, you know, there are a lot of drivers out there, a lot, you know, and I just named just a few that popped in my head. But as a driver, what was your most scariest moment, and how did you overcome it?
Well, my scariest moment is when I wrecked in Romeo. You know, and as being a driver, when I did that, it was my first accident. And as having that accident, you know, I pretty much wanted to quit racing. I ain't want to drive no more. You know what I mean? And I'd have had several accidents, but like I said, that was one of my first accidents, and it was a bad accident. But when I got out the car, you know, tears came down my eyes. I was worried about what, I don't know, my phone cut off, but I don't know where I cut off at. But like I say, that wasn't my car. But how I overcame it was the people encouraging me. You know, the owners, the team. You know what I'm saying? They encouraged me. Like, you know what I mean? The best of the best have accidents. So it took me a minute, you know what I mean, to overcome it, but I did. And then you got to realize, you know what I'm saying, we human. We're going to make mistakes. Parts going, you know what I mean, have malfunction, and you know what I'm saying, just something that's out of your hand.
Yeah, that's a big tenfold. That's a big tenfold. So as a driver, have you ever looked over your shoulders to see where your opponent's at?
Matter of fact, he on here now. I've done that, and that's one of the worst things you can do. Because when you look over your shoulder, that's the way you're going to turn that steering wheel. And it's funny you asked that, because Dime on here now. And when I drive Dimebag, I used to host the gas a lot. So when I host the gas, you know, of course that means I pretty much have looked over and pretty much know how or when I can host the gas. So when he painted his car down there, he thought I was crazy. He blacked out the windows in the back there. So, and he gonna tell me some crazy shit like I ain't know why he blacked out the windows. That was a good thing he did because that was the safety of me, you know what I'm saying, as a driver. But I realized this here too, Tarnell. I never used to wear safety equipment, but I just started wearing it. But now I wear a harness device. Now, if I had been wearing that the whole time, I wouldn't have been able to look over your shoulders, because when you got that on, you can't look over your shoulders. It won't let you.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, all you driver listening, safety is the key. Safety is the key. I'm glad Jamie lighten that up right there for us, that harness. When you won't be able to look, you won't be able to turn your neck and look over. Yeah, that's some real good stuff right there. That's some real good stuff right there. All right. From a promoter standpoint, what's your thoughts on shootouts at a Grudge event?
Well, shootouts is for the spectators. You know what I mean? Cost is going up a Yeah, I didn't phone call. Cost is going up a lot. You know what I mean? All of us, well, I ain't gonna say all of us, but us as promoters, you know, we love to try to give the fans something to see. You know what I mean? Grudge races is not guaranteed. You know what I mean? Shootouts, you at least gonna see a good pair or two in a shootout. But if you advertising a grudge race, the fans understand that that's a lock-in grudge race and it might not happen, And some people do, some people don't. But as far as trying to, give the people their money's worth, I think it's sometimes better. Some events you don't have to have them, but majority and most of them, I feel like shootouts is needed. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree 110% with you. I agree 110% with you. Now, since since we on the promote thing, are you gonna bring back the T-ball league for the little guys in 2022?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Tony. Since I done expanded as far as so many cars to drive, it's a lot to focus on. As far as making sure this car together, who we gonna race with that car. So it's like 10 to 12 cars that I pretty much have to make sure, I ain't gonna say make sure, or check with the owners and we on the same page to know what route we want to take or who we want to run. So as I expanded with driving different cars, more cars, it kind of pulled me away from coming up with thoughts for the T-ball. But them guys, I got to give it to them. Like I say, I haven't totally forgot about it, but I'm going to bring it back because they have always supported me no matter where I want to have that event at or whatever I want to do. They always have been. Matter of fact, them were some bigger supporters of me being as a promoter. You know what I mean? And them were some, guys that travel over 2 hours and stuff like that. But like I said, them pretty much was one of the ones that stuck behind me. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna bring it back to on there.
Oh yeah, that's a big tenfold. That's a big tenfold, especially for the little guys, because a lot of them feel like they're being not just for the T-ball. I'm just saying in general. A lot of guys, they feel like they're being overlooked because of how because they're a little slower in grudge racing. A lot of guys overlook them. Not just for the T-ball. I'm just saying in general. A lot of guys, they feel like they're being overlooked because of how because they're a little, especially for the little guys, because a lot of them feel like they're being not just for the T-ball. I'm just saying in general. A lot of guys, they feel like they're being overlooked because of how because they're a little slower in grudge racing. A lot of guys overlook them, but that's a good thing. You're gonna bring that back for them guys. I know they're gonna be happy, proud, and you're gonna get the support that you need for that T-ball league. All right. What is something positive you gained from winning the Grudge Race of the Year for 2021?
Something positive for that, Tarnell, like I say, it's just, promoters, they when you win something like that, like when they found out we won again, I done got promoters already calling, trying to get us here, get us there. You know what I mean? So we try to, as winning it, because we won it last year also. So, some people say it don't help you, but it does help you. You know what I mean? It does help you in ways that people don't see, because, that's just like you, Tarnell. You have a race and you call and say, Triggaman, you got something going on this day? Can you come down? So the first thing you're going to do is go to Facebook and promote TMR, the Grudge Race of the Year, coming to your event. So, as being a Grudge Race of the Year, that speaks volumes over the grudge game. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of teams out here. So if you're the Grudge Race of the Year, that means you did something maybe a little higher than, the other teams in order to win Grudge Race of the Year.
Yep, that's a big tenfold. Big tenfold. All right, Trigger. This is the last question that I have as the lawyer on this interview. What's the best advice you can give an upcoming grudge
advice I can give them is listening to the people that have been in this game longer than you. When somebody giving you advice, don't always, don't just think they giving you advice and just think like they don't know what they talking about. Regardless, just listen to what people telling you, because a lot of people, you can't see what other people see. You know what I mean? And as we call them OGs, I grew up around a lot of OGs, and a lot of them call me. You know what I'm saying? And we have talks and things, and that's how I am, who I am today. Because I've been around a lot of good top tier grudge racers: Tony Bynes, Willie Dog, Lil Mo, Tony Wright, Mike Hill, just to name a few. You know what I mean? And Mike Hill, like I said, when I was a kid, Mike Hill was my favorite, my favorite racer. And Chick was my favorite lineup man. I hate to tell him that, but Chick was my favorite lineup man. Chick used to walk out there and act like he picking something up off the ground and don't be picking nothing up. That's just the excitement that he used to have to be out there on the track, doing what he loved to do. But like I say, Tarnell, listening is the biggest thing. As an upcoming racer, excuse me, not being hard-headed, not thinking you know it all. You know what I'm saying? That could lead you in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? Because what somebody could possibly tell you, that could save your life. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's it, Tarnell.
Hey man, hey, Jamie. Great interview. You answered all the questions. I tried to slide. Hey man, I tried to slide in something that had you really thinking. And the thing like you said, hey man, you came off the hip, man. You came off the hip, man. I think you enlightened on a lot of key stuff that a lot of grudge racers need to know. That probably didn't know, but now they know now. Hey man, great interview. I know if anytime I can reach out to you, come on Zello. You know what I'm saying? I know you, a phone call away, man. I really do appreciate the interview.
Oh yeah, man. Like I say, anytime. I want to put that out there, man. Like I said, man, I come over here, I cut up y'all. But I don't take none of that stuff personal, man, as far as how I get on here and cut up, man. I just like to have fun and act a fool. But that's what strives me, y'all. So at the end of the day, like I said, I appreciate Dirty South. Tarnell, I appreciate you for reaching out, doing the interview. Like I said, I could have gave a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, but I just ain't want to intervene in what I thought maybe you had other questions to ask. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, you did a good job on the questions you asked. You caught me off guard with one or two of them, but like I say, that's why I was telling you, like I said, man, I don't want to, practice it. I like to come off the hip, and that way, you know what I'm saying, I'll be prepared. You know what I mean? That way people know that it's real and it ain't practice and it ain't, you know what I mean, made up. It's real.
Oh yeah, that was a real interview. Now you already know how Dirty South is. This the mental patient. I don't know if we combine Talk Back and Dirty South Grudge, man. I don't, boy, whew. Then you got Augusta on here. You got the Spit. You got Sparta, Georgia. You got Atlanta. You got a lot of Zellos that came on. That come over here when I do the interviews. I want to give a big shout out to them too. For coming on and supporting. What I got going on Dirty South Grudge. For the interview. And I'm gonna get more interviews. More interviews. I got some people that y'all may not think I can get. They come on Dirty South Grudge, but they gonna come on Dirty South Grudge and give a great interview like all the rest of the interviews I've done. On top of that, so hey, shouts out to Triggaman. Hey man, great interview. So anybody that want to come on, the floor is yours. If Jamie got a little time, they might want to ask you something that I didn't get to ask. This your time now.